I see you gather before me. Hungry, terrified, clutching your babes to your breast. Emperor Emir has marched his legions into our lands, laid siege to every fortress from here to the Blue Mountains. Rabid and ravenous, he bites and bites away. Men of the North!
Men of the North!
You stand at the precipice. Your kings have failed you, so now you turn to the gods. And yet you do not plead. You do not kneel to dust your heads with ash. Instead you wail, why have the gods forsaken us? We must look into the trials we failed long ago. In a time past, our world intertwined with another through an upheaval scholars call the conjunction of the spheres. The gods allowed unholy forces to slip into our domain. The offspring of that cataclysm was the nefarious force called magic.
Magic's awesome. It's not nefarious.
Yet we did not banish it, instead studying the vile arcane for our own power.
I would like to study with her. Can I please study with her?
Monsters at our door. The unholy relics of this conjunction. The trolls, the corpse eaters, the werewolves. Did we raise our swords against them? Or have we laid this burden on others? On so-called witches. Stray children taught the ways of foul sorcery. Their bodies mutated through blasphemous ritual. Sent to fight monsters, though they could not distinguish good from evil. The flicker of humanity, long extinguished within them. Yes, their numbers have dwindled through the years. But a few still roam our lands, offering their bloody work for coin. To this day, they shame us with their very existence. The North bleeds, flogged by war. The battles are the gods' whip, chastisement for our sins. And let us not forget the terrors, the scourges from beyond our world. The wild hunt rides the sky with every full moon. The Dark Raiders abduct our children into lands unknown. Some say they herald a second conjunction. Can we chart a course back into the light? Will we find the strength to banish the mages from our kingdoms? Unite around the warmth of the eternal fire. Nigh is the time of the sword and axe. None will fight this war in our stead. Nigh is the time of madness and disdain.
All right. Well played. Sorry about that, guys. The video over here, or my little thingy, got messed up, so I couldn't hear you. Game sounds quiet. Okay, I can turn... Well, that's the intro. The music sounds loud to me. I am going to have to turn the music off. I apologize. Because the music is not going to work. Most likely the music would be fine. But there's a chance that on YouTube it would be an issue. But that's the sound. That's the sound level. Now, how does that sound to you guys? Is that loud? Quiet? Looks like somebody said it was loud. So I'm thinking right about here. That should be good. So let's do a mark right here. How does the sound level sound? Granted, I'm going to be turning the music off, but I'm going to be moving the master volume to here. 50 is great. Okay, so I'm dropping that off, and we're going to put the master volume at 50. Okay, let's go take a look at the video options real quick. Let's look at graphics. Graphics VSync is on. Maximum frames per second is 60. Well, that's not VSync. Pretty sure I should turn VSync off because I have 144 frames on the channel, on the thing, but we'll try it out. We'll see. We're using display 1, borderless window. I like that. NVIDIA Hairworks. I don't know, but that sounds cool. Everything else is maxed out at Ultra, except for the hardware. Post-processing, which I have absolutely no idea what is. We're on SSAO. Everything else is pretty much maxed out and on. We're not going to mess with the scale of the HUD. We're not going to mess with the HUD configuration. So that's how we are right now. So how does that all look, guys? You're going to have lots of boobs to get rid of. Well, if it turns out like that, what we'll probably end up doing is I'll probably just cut those scenes completely, which is going to suck because I have a feeling a lot of those are going to be important scenes. But we'll just have to see. Maybe frames to unlimited. I don't believe I can set it as unlimited for frames, right? Wait, what? Oh! That's weird. Okay, I don't understand. That is weird. Okay, well, we're at unlimited. We're at unlimited. 60 is fine, though. Honestly, 60, we're going to do 60 because two issues with this. Number one, I stream in 30 FPS. Now, I stream in 30 FPS because Twitch, the way it works, doesn't work at 60 FPS. I mean, it does, but there's some issues. Basically, if you stream at 60 FPS, because of the limits of Twitch's bandwidth, it doesn't work really well. Not only that, but it can be very difficult for people with normal setups. So, I don't know. I think we're going to stick it with 60 because you're not even going to notice because I encoded 30 FPS because that's what Twitch uses, which means I'll be uploading to YouTube at 30 FPS. So for all of you guys who are big on that, I apologize. As soon as Twitch will do 60 FPS, believe me, I will do 60 FPS. But right now, Twitch limits you to 3,500 kilobits. To do 60 FPS fluidly, oh my god, my eyes are fucked up. To do 60 FPS fluidly, you need about 1,100 to 1,200 bit rate, which is 4 times the bit rate that they allow. So basically what happens, 60 FPS on Hearthstone works perfectly. 60 FPS on slower games, beautiful. 60 FPS even on probably StarCraft would work out fine. 60 FPS on like Counter-Strike Go or games that have a lot of movement, basically the computer misses frames and things go blurry in those instances. So it just doesn't work out. And converting from 60 FPS to 30 FPS can still screw up the quality infringement. Or basically, transcoding takes it, I encode once, then it encodes, then it encodes, then it encodes, and it changes it down to where you guys can see it all. Well, at 60 FPS, it has to transcode to 30 FPS and then push it out. And it adds an extra layer of encoding, supposedly, and that basically, it's like making a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, and you just get worse and worse quality. So, either way, we're going to go with 60 FPS, even though you guys aren't going to notice it, because we're not going to be streaming in 60 FPS. So it should look good. This is a maximum set graphics. The only thing I don't have turned on is that one option in post-processing, which I honestly don't know what does. So I'm going to let it pretty much auto do everything else because it's pretty much picked out everything else, and we should be good. Should be good. Now, I want to do another caveat here. I know absolutely nothing about The Witcher or The Witcher series. I've never played. I played the original Witcher for about 20 minutes. I didn't like the control scheme. Back then, it was a game I think I was considering for YouTube. I bought it on GOG, Good Old Gamers, way back in the day when it was on sale right before Witcher 2 came out, and I just decided I didn't like the control scheme, so I skipped it. Well, Witcher 3 is coming out now, and I hear it's pretty good. So we're going to see how we're doing. We're going to see how we're doing. Danica, we're going to take a look at it first and see how it is. I usually hate motion blur too. Depending on their implementation of it, if I despise it as well, then we'll turn it off. It just kind of depends. Yes, Montana Man, I think pretty much everybody has. But yes, I have played that. So anyways, we're going to give it a shot, see how everything looks, and I'll make adjustments to the graphics or the sound, et cetera, as we move on. But like I said, first time playing any of the Witcher series, so there's going to be a lot of lore I don't know. There's going to be a lot of stuff I don't know. So you lore bunnies, you Witcher lore bunnies are going to probably hate me. Just please be respectful in your comments. Please be nice in your comments. Realize that not everybody is a huge player of the games that you have, and it may take me a bit to catch on. Also, I had planned on making a character for this setup, like a Scottish Jesus type character, but then I kind of decided, you know, since I am completely new to the whole Witcher series, we're just going to play it like I did my first Skyrim playthrough, and that way is I'm going to play whatever I want. We're going to feel the game out. I'm going to see how it goes, see how I feel, and we'll make changes accordingly. That means our first playthrough is probably going to be awful. Now, I don't know if we'll do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 playthroughs like we have with Skyrim. It may be awful. Well, not awful. It may not be a game that you can play more than once. Skyrim's a game that you can play multiple times through. The Witcher may be a game you only play once. It may be a game that I play for the next 2 years, like we do with Skyrim. I know the first DLC comes out this summer, no, October, and the second DLC will come out sometime in 2016. So there are 2 DLC already scheduled for it. I don't have any of them yet. If I like the game, we will pick them up. It just kind of depends. So we will see. We'll see how it goes. So keep in mind, like I said, I don't know how it's going to work out. We're just going to play the game. I'm going to see if I enjoy it. If I do, great. We'll move on. If there's a way to do multiple playthroughs, then we will. If there's not, then we're just going to play the hell out of it the first time through and just see how things go. So that is my current setup. So, oh, Lucamus, I'm probably going to mispronounce the shit out of everything. Yes, Macy, all of my Skyrim content is on YouTube. My current series that I'm playing has, I think, 70 episodes on YouTube. So, considering each episode's about 30 hours, that's, or 30 minutes, that's about 35 hours worth of content. So quite a bit there. All right, here we go. Any other questions before we get started? Oh, and once again, YouTube folks, I will have to cut the boob scenes. So there may be some very odd cut videos on the Witcher series. Like, for instance, we may cut an entire cutscene if I have to. If I do, I will fill you in on what the cutscene has. The reason behind that is YouTube community strikes go out. They're just like copyright strikes. And they don't always do it. Sometimes they do. I can't risk it, so we will be skipping boobs. So if you want to see titties, you should probably go look at porn.com or go look at somebody who's crazy and doesn't mind uploading titties to YouTube. Or come here to Twitch, and you can watch my VODs. My VODs will be up for 90 days. So if you're watching this a year from now, they're gone. But if you're watching them now, you'll be able to see them. Can you show the cutscenes on Twitch? Yeah? Yes, Macy. Witcher, perfectly fine to do something like Witcher on Twitch. So all of you guys are going to get to see titties and all their titty goodness. So you guys should enjoy that. What mods you added? Well, Floppy, you can go find my mods on Twitch, or on YouTube. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions before we kick things off and get started? What I will probably have happen is I will probably have Jody cut the scenes once for Twitch and then once for YouTube. So those of you guys watching YouTube, you guys will be able to come to Twitch and watch that cutscene that you missed on YouTube on Twitch. So basically there will be some very funky cuts, and I apologize for that, but I will get you guys that footage. You just may have to come to Twitch to watch the cut. So like if you get an 8-minute video on YouTube and you're wondering like what the fuck, that's probably because we had to cut it, and then you can watch the link of that video, and I'll make sure that the link to the VOD that shows what we cut is on Twitch. That way you guys will be able to watch that. Zombie, I can't do that, buddy. That requires a level of editing, which I can't do. Lucamus, they're okay with boobs as long as it's not gratuitous and as long as it's in the game. Something like Honey Pop, where it's just boobs for boob reasons, it won't work. Games like the Grand Theft Auto Strip Club won't work, but games like this, where it's part of the game, they usually don't have an issue. So, anyways, any more questions before we get started? No, Sakaros. Boobs are boobs. YouTube has a pretty zero. YouTube has a pretty much a zero tolerance for titties. So basically, what they do is you just get, if so many people report you, you just get a community strike, and it shuts your channel down. So I don't know, Daedric. You'll have to tell me once we get to that part. So. To host me, you just type /host space name. So /host space pyrostasis. All right, I think that's enough BS. We're going to go ahead and get started. I think that's pretty much everything that we needed to cover. We should be good. We're going to go ahead and fire things up, and let's get rolling. So, new game. So we have the option, just a story and sword, broken blood and broken bones, death march. Wait, what? Enjoy a smooth ride through the world. Story and sword. You're happy to be challenged. You're a seasoned, demanding gamer. All right, so I think this is the difficulty. So death march is going to be the hard setting. Just the story is basically going to be no fighting at all, and you're just enjoying the playthrough. Story and sword is some, and then blood and broken bones sounds kind of like, see, we want to be somewhere like between these two right here. So I don't know. I'm a little torn between these two right here because I want a challenge and I want some gameplay, but I don't want to be too ridiculous. And I know I don't want to do Death March, at least not for my first playthrough. We might do a Death March run on our second playthrough. But I think Blood and Broken Bones probably is going to be okay for us. So Story and Sword is medium. All right, we're just going to do Blood and Broken Bones. I think we'll be okay with this one. This one should work for us. Show tutorials. Yes. Simulate Witcher 2 save. I don't know what that means. But, oh, simulate Witcher 2 save. Yes. Okay, here we go. I didn't play Witcher 2. I think I own it. Whoa! He just cut the fucking head off that horse! Holy shit! Oh! What the fuck?! I will never be able to look at birds the same way again. Yeah, I don't know how to turn the volume up on cutscenes. And I can't pause this cutscene to check. Dude, she almost looks innocent. That's the fucked up thing about it, is she doesn't look like she's the instigator here. Holy fuck. Yeah, she just defended herself. Oh shit, dude! Ground fucking ate that guy! Okay, what the fuck? I'm rooting for the witch. I know, right? Black Swan? Fuck the other guy. Let's work on her team. You can find rare herbs and hidden treasure everywhere. Keyboard and mouse detected. Okay, please don't show me dong right off the bat. I do not want to see dong! I am not ready for dongs in video games. I just want to throw that